Hello and welcome back to English Podcast Live. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today we're talking about travel English, which is honestly one of my absolute favorite topics.
Why's that?
Because I think travel is one of the situations where your English skills really get tested in the real world. You're tired, you might be stressed, you don't know the environment, and suddenly you need to communicate in a second language.
The stakes feel higher.
They do. And there's no teacher to help you, no textbook, just you, another person, and the English you actually have.
And what I've noticed is that the English people struggle with most in travel situations is not grammar, it's not vocabulary, it's knowing the specific phrases that are expected in each situation.
Right. Every travel situation has its own little script. Check in at an airport, dealing with a hotel issue, ordering food with a dietary restriction, asking for help when you're lost. Each of these follows a pretty predictable pattern once you know it.
So today we're going to teach you those scripts thoroughly, with examples for every situation you're likely to encounter.
We're covering airports, hotels, restaurants, and emergency situations. And for each one, we're going to go beyond the basics.
Because you've all heard, where is the nearest museum? That's not what you need.
What you need is, my bag is overweight and I don't want to pay the fee. What are my options? That's the real stuff.
Let's get into it. Let's start at the very beginning of the travel journey, the airport check-in counter.
The check-in agent will run through a standard set of questions. Let's go through each one so you're not caught off guard.
First thing they'll say, "Can I see your passport and booking reference, please?" Or, "May I have your travel documents?"
Your response is simple. Here you go. Or if you're handing over multiple things, here's my passport and I also have my e-ticket on my phone. Would you like to see that?
Being proactive about handing over everything they might need speeds up the process and makes you look organized. They appreciate it.
Next, how many bags are you checking in today?
Just one. Or 2 bags, 1 large suitcase and 1 smaller one. Or, I only have a carry-on, nothing to check. Be specific because it affects the tagging and ticketing process.
Did you pack your own bags? Or did you pack these bags yourself?
Always say yes, even if someone helped you. This question is about security liability. Yes, I did.
Has anyone given you anything to carry on their behalf?
Again, always no. No, nothing.
Do you have any sharp objects, liquids over 100 milliliters, or prohibited items in your carry-on?
If you do, I have a laptop and some toiletries in a bag. Is that okay? They'll tell you the procedure. If you don't, no, I don't think so.
Would you like a window or aisle seat?
Window, please. Or aisle if possible. I like to be able to get up. Or I don't mind, whatever's available. This is one of the few moments in check-in where you get a preference.
What if your preferred seat isn't available?
Is there anything in an exit row? I don't mind a responsibility. Exit rows have more legroom and are great for long flights.
Or, could you check if my travel companion can sit next to me? We're on the same booking. Always worth asking. They can often accommodate if it's available.
Now, the nightmare scenario. You walk up to the counter, you put your bag on the scale, and the agent says, "I'm sorry, your bag is over the weight limit. There will be an additional charge."
This happens more than people think. Let's walk through your options.
Option 1. Pay the fee. How much is the fee? Get the number first before agreeing. Then, okay, I'll pay that. Can I pay by card? Most airlines take card at the counter.
Option 2. Redistribute weight. Is it possible for me to move some things to my carry-on here? Most airlines allow this. You just shift heavier items into your carry-on bag.
If you're not sure what to move, my bag is about 3 kilos over. What would you recommend I move?
Option 3. If you think there's been an error, could you weigh it again? I thought I was within the limit. Said politely, not accusatorily. Equipment can occasionally malfunction.
Option 4. The long shot, but sometimes it works. Is there any flexibility? This is my first time flying this airline and I wasn't aware of the exact limit. Keyword flexibility. It sounds more diplomatic than can you make an exception or can you let it go? And if they say no, you haven't been confrontational.
One practical tip, Always know the weight limit before you get to the airport. Look it up on the airline's website when you book. Most international economy classes allow either 20 or 23 kilograms checked and 7 to 10 kilograms carry-on.
Some budget airlines are very strict. Some full-service airlines are more lenient, but it's much better to know in advance than to be negotiating at the counter with a line of impatient people behind you.
Security. You're in the line, putting things in the trays, and the officer gives instructions.
Security officers speak in very short, direct commands. Laptops out. Shoes off. Belt in the tray. Remove your jacket. You don't need to say much. Just comply and say, of course, or sure.
If you have something that might cause the alarm to go off, I have a metal knee replacement. Should I let you know? Or, I have a pacemaker. I have documentation from my doctor. Always carry medical documentation for anything that might trigger the scanner.
If you're selected for extra screening, someone pats you down or swabs your bag, of course, just cooperate. It's random and it's not personal.
If you don't understand an instruction, sorry, could you repeat that? Security officers are usually quite patient. They deal with people who don't speak English as a first language all the time.
Now, boarding. You're at the gate. They make announcements, the key phrases to listen for.
We will begin boarding with our premium passengers and those needing extra time. This is your cue to listen. Your boarding group is about to be called.
Rows 40 through 50 may now board. Listen for your row number.
All remaining passengers may now board.
If you miss your boarding call because you were in the bathroom or getting coffee, go to the gate agent and say, I apologize, I missed my boarding call. Is it too late? Usually, they'll let you on. The plane doesn't leave until it has to.
Now, the worst scenario. You arrive at the gate and you see people looking frustrated. The board says delayed.
First, approach the gate agent calmly. Excuse me, can you tell me what's happening with this flight? How long is the delay expected to be?
Sometimes they don't know yet. I understand you might not have all the information. Is there any update you can share?
If it's a long delay and you're concerned about a connection, I have a connecting flight to Paris leaving at 3 p.m. If we're delayed, will I make it? Who should I speak to about rebooking options?
Asking for a specific person or department to speak to is very useful. Who can help me with this? Gets you directed to the right place.
If the flight is canceled, what are my options? Can you rebook me on the next available flight today? And am I entitled to meal vouchers or hotel accommodation because of the cancellation?
In the EU and UK, you have legal rights for significant delays and cancellations, vouchers, accommodation, sometimes financial compensation. In the US, it's more airline-specific, but always ask.
Hotels. You've made it. You're tired. You want your room. Let's go through the whole check-in conversation.
Good evening. Do you have a reservation?
Yes, I have a reservation under the name Your Name. I booked for 3 nights. Giving your name and the length of your stay up front is helpful.
May I see your ID and a credit card for the deposit?
Of course, here's my passport. For the deposit, can I pay cash instead of card? Some hotels allow this, some don't. Always ask if you prefer cash.
Your room won't be ready until 3 p.m.
This is very common. You have a few responses. That's fine. Is there somewhere I can store my luggage while I wait? They always have storage. Or, is there any possibility of an early check-in? I've been traveling all night. Sometimes they'll accommodate, especially if the room is already clean.
Or, is there a lounge or business center where I can wait and freshen up?
Once you're in the room, if there's a problem, pick up the phone and say, Hi, this is name in room number. I have a small issue with my room. Then describe it specifically.
The air conditioning doesn't seem to be working. The room is quite warm. Or, there's no hot water. The shower is running cold. Or, the TV remote isn't responding to any buttons.
The toilet isn't flushing properly. There's a dripping sound from the tap. Or, the lock on my door seems a bit stiff. I'm not sure it's fully secure.
Be specific. The more specific you are, the faster they can fix it. Something is wrong is less useful than the shower pressure is very low.
And if the problem is serious, like a security issue, or the room is genuinely uninhabitable, don't be afraid to say, I'm not comfortable staying in this room. Is it possible to move me?
Room upgrades. Everyone wants to know about this. When and how to ask.
The best time to ask is at check-in, especially if you're staying multiple nights or if the hotel is not fully booked. I was wondering, are there any upgrades available for my stay? I'm celebrating an anniversary. Adding a reason, however light, helps.
Or simply, I'm a loyal customer. Is there any complimentary upgrade available? Hotels often have rooms they can't sell at full price and would rather have occupied.
And if you're a member of their loyalty program, always mention it. I'm a gold member. Is there anything available for members?
Using hotel services. How to ask for things naturally.
Room service. Hi, I'd like to order some room service, please. Can you tell me what's available at this time? Or, if you have the menu, I'd like to order the club sandwich and a pot of coffee. Can you tell me how long that will take?
Laundry. Do you offer a laundry service? I have a few items I need cleaned before a meeting tomorrow morning.
Wake-up call. Could you arrange a wake-up call for 6:15 a.m., please? And could you confirm my room number back to me?
Transportation. Can you arrange a taxi to the airport for tomorrow morning? My flight is at 10 a.m., so I'd like to leave at 7:30. How much would that roughly cost?
Recommendations. Could you recommend a good restaurant nearby? I'm looking for somewhere not too formal, moderate price, with good local food. Give them parameters so they can give a useful answer.
Checking out. How do you handle it smoothly?
Go to the front desk. I'd like to check out, please. Could I get a final bill? Or if you're in a hurry, is express checkout available? Can I just leave the key in the room?
Check out, please. Could I get a final bill?
Always review the bill. Look at each line item. If something looks wrong, could you clarify this charge here? I don't think I used the minibar. Or, I see there's a charge for room service. I don't believe I ordered anything. Could we check this?
Hotels do make billing errors. It's not rude to question a charge. It's responsible.
If you want to leave luggage after checkout, I have a late flight. Is it possible to store my luggage here until this evening? This is completely standard and almost always accommodated.
Restaurants. Let's go through the whole experience from arrival to paying the bill.
You walk in. The host greets you. Good evening. Do you have a reservation?
Yes, I have a reservation for 2 under the name. Or, no, we don't. Do you have availability for 2? We'd be happy to wait if there's a short wait.
How long is the wait? If the wait is longer than you want, that's a bit longer than we'd hoped. Thank you. We'll try somewhere nearby. Polite and direct. You don't need to apologize for not wanting to wait.
You're seated. The server introduces themselves. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'll be taking care of you tonight. Can I get you started with something to drink?
I'll have a sparkling water, please. Or, we'd like a few minutes to look at the menu, but could we have some water to start? Asking for water and time is completely normal.
When you're ready to order, we're ready to order. The server will come over. Or catch their eye and give a small nod. They're trained to notice this.
Ordering. I'll have the grilled salmon, please. Or, I'd like the pasta, please. Or, could I get the steak? Could I get is very casual, very American.
If you're not sure about something on the menu, could you tell me more about this dish? Is it spicy? Or, I'm not sure I'll like the sauce. Is it possible to get it on the side?
On the side means served separately, not mixed into the dish. Very useful phrase.
How is the dish? Is it popular? Servers usually love this question. It invites them to make a recommendation and they feel helpful.
What to say about cooking temperatures for meat? I'd like the steak medium rare, please. Rare, very pink inside. Medium rare, pink with a little char. Medium, slightly pink. Medium well, mostly cooked through. Well done, no pink.
In good restaurants, especially steakhouses, they take this very seriously. Make sure you specify.
Dietary needs and allergies. Extremely important. Let's go through this carefully.
Food allergies can be life-threatening. You need to be very clear. Don't downplay an allergy to be polite.
I have a severe nut allergy. Is this dish completely nut-free, including the sauce and any oil used in cooking?
I'm allergic to shellfish. Does this contain any shellfish, or is it cooked in a pan that's been used for shellfish?
Cross-contamination is a real concern. Good restaurants will take this seriously and check with the kitchen.
For dietary preferences, not allergies, but choices, I'm vegetarian. Does this dish contain any meat or meat-based stock?
Stock is often an issue because it's used as a base for many sauces and soups.
I'm vegan. Is this completely plant-based? No dairy, no eggs, no honey?
Vegan requests are much more common now, and most restaurants are prepared for them.
I'm gluten-free. Do you have a gluten-free menu? Many restaurants now have this available.
If the server seems unsure, could you check with the kitchen? I want to make sure it's safe. You're not being difficult, you're being responsible.
What if the food arrives wrong? This is where many people stay quiet and just eat something they didn't order or that wasn't prepared the way they asked. Don't do this.
Catch the server's eye and say, "Excuse me, I think there might have been a mix-up. I ordered the salmon, but I believe this is the tuna."
Or, I'm sorry to bother you. I asked for this to be medium rare, but it looks quite well done. Would it be possible to have a new one prepared?
"I'm sorry to bother you" is very useful here. It softens the complaint without suggesting you're not going to raise the issue. You're being polite and assertive.
What if you're still waiting and it seems like your food has been forgotten?
"Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I ordered about 25 minutes ago. Could you check on my order? I'm not in a rush. I just want to make sure it wasn't missed." Mentioning you're not in a rush diffuses tension.
Paying the bill. Could we get the bill, please? British. Can we get the check? American. Either works in most English-speaking countries.
Splitting the bill. Is it possible to split this 2 ways? Or could we pay separately? Some restaurants will accommodate, some won't during busy periods.
If you want to pay only for your portion, could you separate the check? I had the salmon and the water. Being specific helps.
Tipping. In the US, 18 to 20% is expected for good service. In the UK, 10 to 15%, and check if service is already included. In Australia, tipping is appreciated but not obligatory. In Japan, tipping is not the custom. Know the local convention.
Emergency situations. Let's go through 3 main scenarios.
Scenario 1. Medical emergency. If it's serious, call an ambulance, or someone call 911, 999 in the UK, 112 in most of Europe, 000 in Australia. Then, this person has collapsed. There's been an accident. Someone is having trouble breathing.
For minor medical issues, where is the nearest pharmacy? At the pharmacy, I have a fever and a sore throat. What would you recommend? Pharmacists are highly trained and can advise on over-the-counter medications.
If you need a doctor but it's not an emergency, is there an urgent care clinic nearby? In the US, urgent care handles minor issues without an ER visit. In the UK, a walk-in center or minor injuries unit is the equivalent.
Scenario 2. Lost or stolen belongings. Lost passport. Go to the local police station and say, "I need to report a lost passport." Get the report number. You'll need it for your embassy and for insurance.
Then contact your country's embassy. I'm a citizen of country. I've lost my passport while traveling. I need an emergency travel document to return home. They handle this situation regularly.
Stolen wallet or phone. I'd like to report a theft. My wallet was stolen. I believe it happened at location at approximately time. The police report number is essential for insurance claims.
Scenario 3. Getting lost. Excuse me, I'm a bit lost. Could you help me? I'm trying to get to place. If language is a barrier, show your phone with the address or a map. Could you point me in the right direction?
Is it within walking distance or should I take a taxi? Could you write down the address for me so I can show it to a taxi driver?
Which direction is the nearest metro or subway station? Metro, subway, underground, tube. Different cities use different words for the same thing.
One final tip. Download offline maps and translation apps before you travel. Technology helps, but there's nothing like knowing the key phrases yourself.
That was a lot of English, but the situations we covered today are the ones you will actually encounter.
Airport check-in, overweight bags, delays and cancellations, hotel check-in, room problems, restaurant ordering, dietary needs, complaints, paying the bill, and emergencies.
You now have the specific language for all of them. Travel with confidence.
Thank you so much for listening to English Podcast Live today. If you have an upcoming trip, save this episode. It's your travel English companion.
Subscribe for new episodes every week. See you next time.
Take care, everyone. Safe travels. Bye.